Hello, beautiful, divine, feminine ladies. How are you all doing? I am back with another video. I am so excited to speak with you ladies today. And as you can tell by the title, we will be talking about self-love. Self-love is not a sin. Self-love is the key to your freedom. Now let's talk about it. When I grew up religious, it's not that I did not shower and stuff like that and those basic self-care that everyone knows about. The self-care that I'm talking about is the self-care where you go within. It is the self-care where you are capable of setting boundaries, healthy boundaries. It's the self-care where you parent yourself again, meaning if you grew up where you were not mothered well, fathered well, this is the time in your adulthood to parent yourself, meaning show yourself the love and the boundaries that you were not shown as a child. The respect, the care, the nurturing, everything that you were lacking when it comes to your finances. If your finances were not respected, you show yourself that respect. You start budgeting. If you are not shown respect where it was emotionally and mentally, you take the steps to heal. If it was food-wise, health-wise, you were not shown the skills it takes to actually manage your health, exercising, movements, the power of breath work, meditation. If you just grew up where everything was demonic without being taught these things, you have been stripped of an opportunity to go within and love self. Loving yourself is not a bad thing. Loving yourself is not selfish. Loving yourself is not a sin. Loving yourself is not the end of the world. You have every right to love yourself. In fact, how are you supposed to love those around you if you don't have that respect for yourself? You need to love yourself again. You need to show yourself that grace, that devotion, that love, that attention. Very sad and disheartening that it is taught in some places where loving yourself is like a bad thing when it really isn't. And I used to believe these things, especially like when I was religious, you know. It's like I only had to focus on being meek and, you know, like I can't even think about myself in that way. Like I am not worthy, you know, like even just like listening to some gospel songs about like me not being worthy and stuff like that of God's presence. Like, no. Entering African spirituality, I'm like, no, I am worthy of being in God's presence. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, let's change our wordings. You know, I am worthy. I am deserving. I am chosen. I am capable. And I am capable of loving myself. Loving myself was the key to my freedom, was the key to honestly like going on this journey where I was able to heal even more. Honestly, if you all were to see how I looked like when I was in toxic environments and when I was around individuals, my cortisol level was so high. And not only that, I also blame myself because I am accountable for my journey. And I've been in so many places, environments that were not good for me. I didn't know that I didn't have self-love at the time. I let so many people walk all over me. I let so many people laugh at me, mock me, use me, abuse me, left and right. I literally was so easy to be used to the point where when I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I couldn't even just say, no, thank you, no, and walk away. Like I literally let anyone walk all over me. I had no self-respect, whether it was in like a religious setting, it could be friendships, family members. I had no respect for self, and I can see that today. The woman that I am today, when I look back at who I was, I don't recognize that young lady anymore. In fact, when I think about the old me, I'm kind of like, whoa, that was me. I look at pictures and I'm like, that was me. I'm looking at myself smiling, posting pictures on social media with a big smile on my face, knowing that I was like crying that night. Seriously, like no self-love whatsoever. But the thing though is that even though I was smiling while I was crying, I had the love of helping others. I've always had the desire and the heart and the love to teach women, to encourage women and guide them and encourage them, even though my life was not the greatest, you know, in the background. And it's because I genuinely love helping others. I don't expect anything back. Like when I say I genuinely love helping, I love to do it. Like it's just in me to help women heal and grow and become and evolve. I don't care if I have 2 followers on social media, I will still talk. I will yap. I will still share tips and tricks on everything and anything. Starting in, I think it was like around like 2024-ish, my journey started of self-love, you know. 2023, I was almost there, but 2024 is when I really set my mind to this journey. And going into now that we are in 2025, like so much has changed drastically. Like even my weight has changed. I lost weight because I found ways to deal with like the cortisol levels that I was dealing with, and also being on survival mode. So someone who's on survival mode, cortisol levels, experience trauma and horrific events, traumatizing events, you think to yourself, okay, the body is triggered by certain things and stuff like that, etc. So I had to find ways to let my body know that, hey, you're safe, you're okay today. So every day I would do like yoga, breath work, meditation. If I was still Christian, I would have been like, those things are demonic. I would have completely closed the door to it, not realizing that like these practices have been around for a long time, way before religion. It's unfortunate that a lot of us don't even know where all of these practices came from. Like even like in Africa, there are tribes that still, you know, that do these things, like the breath work, the meditations, and all these things. Like it's there. I'm not surprised that a lot of people are not aware of that these practices, like it has been known from us since ancient times, like Black people around the world, like all of our ancestry, like we've been doing this, you know? So like I was saying, meditation outside of religion, I was able to dive deep and research and see that it's really not a bad thing. Meditation, yoga. I also did some somatic yoga as well. That was very helpful for me too. Like these are like, so for example, like as women, we hold trauma in our hips, in our womb, in this area right here. So I had to learn certain exercises that can help release the trauma in that part of the body, because I learned that I could pray and pray and pray and say, hey, heal me, heal me, heal me, but my body will still be like, hey, like the trauma is still in the body. Our bodies are machines, ladies. Like please do not underestimate it. I'm not here to tell you like, hey, leave Christianity, leave Islam. I'm not here to say that. I'm here to say, listen, you can practice what you want to practice. I'm not here to force anything upon you, but please, can we be open to knowledge, you know? I'm not out here asking you to sin. I'm just telling y'all, be more open-minded, because a lot of you ladies that reach out to me, especially on social media, when you tell me what you go through and I give you the tips, you're like, that one's demonic, but I can do this one and that one. And I'm like, oh my gosh. There's sometimes when you go through a specific experience in life, there's a specific ritual that you have to do based off of that. Prayer and fasting is not just for everything, you know? Like prayer and fasting is good, but there's other things that you also need to implement in order to fully heal the body. The body is a very complex machine. It's so like beyond our minds and thinking and imagination. It's so advanced that when I tell you how powerful it is, especially when you find out that certain movements can release certain energies and stuff like that, you would be shocked. Even like tapping. certain parts of your body, you know, tapping certain parts of your body and then releasing, you know, certain stress, like literally telling your body you're safe. It's so interesting how powerful the body is. And even just affirmations, constantly telling yourself good things, affirming yourself, even though you don't believe it yet, but your body is receiving it. Your body's like, oh, I am blessed. Oh, I am healthy. Oh, I am happy. Even before you believe it, your body is believing it. That's already healing you. Your body is healing. The cells are like waking up. Everything is moving. You need to clear your lymphatic system. You also need to do cleansing sometimes. So certain things require cleansing. You know, when it comes to like deliverance, there's different forms of deliverance. I understand there's prayer, fasting, but there's also other types of deliverance, you know? There's the cleansing with using like salts and herbs and baths, spiritual baths, you know? There's so much depth into these things. So what I'm trying to say overall is that self-care is deeper than just like, hey, I'm gonna do a face mask. I like to see self-love as a respect of self. And there's just so many layers to it. I also love the fact that like, even though it's not about face masks and stuff like that, but it's good to also like shower and care for your hygiene. Like that's also a form of self-love. If you're an overthinker, journaling is great. I need to get back on journaling. I think it would be great for me because sometimes I think a lot, but then I need to start seeing things like, you know, logically and stuff like that. So all I'm trying to say is that the love of self is not a bad thing. And honestly, the love of self is key. It's the only way for you to succeed in all relationships that come your way, whether it be friendship, you know, marriage, all those type of things. Like you will prosper in those things. Motherhood, love of self is so important because if you don't have love for yourself, you cannot show that to others, because how can you actually show that true love if you don't even have that for yourself? You're not going to portray it in its full extent. You need to be able to give that to those around you. So please give that love to you. You know, have some respect for yourself. You know, wake up and start the day with self-respect, self-love. No, it's not a bad thing. I think that it is key. Thank you so much, ladies, for watching the video. I hope to see you all next time. Ladies, do not forget to trust the processes. The journey can be hard and trying, but I promise that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Keep going, keep fighting. Bye-bye.